Home stability is really important to me. I moved around a lot as a kid, so it was very important for me to find a school and a house that my kids could stay and grow up in. Pictures at every age in front of the gate. So, yeah, they've been here their whole life. When we moved to this building, we didn't really have many problems, but 312 Properties bought the property in 2019, and things just sort of slowly got worse.
We've lived in this trailer park for about 37 years, me and my wife. We've seen a lot of different changes in them 37 years. In the last 5.5 years has been the biggest change.
This place has been sold 3 times, and each time it's been sold, it's got worse. Our rent now is $5-something a month, and it's gonna go up. The first of the month, I look for it to go up.
We're both on fixed incomes. She don't get that much, I don't get a fortune, but you know, with doctor bills and food, and it's scary. I mean, they can evict you whenever they want. They can raise the rate so many times a year, whatever they want. If we don't stick together and fight, we ain't got a chance.
So some of the issues that we had was mold. Every unit had mold. We have floor issues. The floor is peeling up. AC, it's over 150 people who didn't have air this summer.
The sink plug won't come up out the sink and they won't fix it. It's completely broke, so we just really can't use this sink. This toilet consistently floods. That's pretty much why we don't have a lot of furniture in here. All our furniture was ruined last Christmas when the sewage came up through the toilets and sort of ruined everything. I had to stop working my job because I got injured at my apartment. I fell through the floor. Less than 3 months later, I found a huge rat in my stove, and then that rat ended up dying in my stove and getting stuck. I've done everything right. Like, I went to school, I got a master's, like I did everything. And I still ended up here. And even when here was good, like they decided it didn't need to be good for me. Like, when I could not cook for my family for 2 months, I sort of had to do something that was more of a necessity. I started the Tenants Union just by talking to my neighbors. Then it sort of got more formal, and I worked with the organizer to knock on everybody's door.
Hey Lolita, how you doing? I'm good. I'm checking in with you. Have you heard anything since we did the application for you? All right, let's talk about, because Keita has issues with her stuff too. So I'm gonna make a section on the agenda for that now, for us to talk about just updates on the assistance. You coming to the meeting tonight, right?
We're not just gonna sit and deal with the negative impacts of the housing crisis, of the lack of tenants' rights and protections, of displacement. We are going to fight back. We're gonna take that frustration and pain, we're gonna take that to the folks who are putting that on us. That is actually how community is built, through principled struggle.
So I know y'all been seeing like the city inspectors come out, people come out, look at the building, or them trying to fix stuff. And that's because we've been talking about how bad our building is. I want pictures documented for every little thing we say, because we know they're gonna be on our ass trying to take us to eviction court. We gonna put every single small little thing on there, picture for everything. And I think we got the power now because they know we really will take it that far. When new people join the union, I think the first thing I feel is relief, because I know what it feels like to be going through it by yourself.
Jared's going to talk about the national campaign, but before we do that, we're going to get intros, because one of the things we want to do before we go to Washington, D.C. is make sure everybody knows one another, right? We got a lot of people that don't know each other yet, and our real power comes from the relationships that we build with each other.
My name is Derek Dennis. I'm the resident council president over at Beecher Terrace. I'm originally from Louisville. I'm excited to be a part of this group and this mission.
All right, well.
We all had different stories about what was going on, but they all boiled down to pretty much the same thing. One-on-one, we can't fight the big money. So The more people we can get involved in the unions, the tenants unions, the more powerful we are.
Why don't we go ahead and pick a partner, someone maybe you haven't talked to before. We're gonna use this prompt today. We wanna talk about who am I? Who are my people? What do we want? What are we building? Are we ready to win?
I'd like to see us get where they can't just stick an eviction letter on our door for nothing. I'd like to see us get that. I believe we can win that too, because there's other states that's got it and there's no reason why we shouldn't have it. These corporations move into cities like Louisville that don't have no restrictions. And that's why they come in so bad and so hard and buy up everything they can, because they can do what they want.
Our opposition, right, who don't really care about the conditions of housing, who don't really care about your experience, they operate at a national scale. The federal government's inaction hurts us here in Chicago, it hurts folks in Kansas City, hurts folks in Buffalo, hurts folks in Montana, it hurts folks in Texas. And for us to combat that, we have to be coordinated and work nationally as well.
What we figured out is that a lot of the multifamily landlords in the country get loans from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And in order to pay off that debt, they raise people's rents. And they're also deferring their maintenance. That property management company really has one job from the owner's standpoint, and that's to keep costs low. Those low costs translate to mold, maintenance issues, retaliation against tenants, and evictions. We chose the Federal Housing Finance Agency as a target because the FHFA can literally put regulations on these loans to protect tenants. We were actually a little hesitant to join a national campaign because we thought it would take away our capacity locally. What ended up happening was the exact opposite of what we were skeptical of. The national campaign has actually built a lot of power locally and has actually expanded our capacity locally to speak directly with the director of the FHFA, who can make a decision that could materially alter their life within the next couple of years. That's very powerful.
Here in Southern South, we have three basic issues: the rent, the utility, and the maintenance. Let me tell you my story about the rent.
The tenants, they've been experts the whole time. Through this work, we were able to create conditions where what's obvious up to me and to them is obvious now to a lot of people.
When the people closest to the problem are able to get into the rooms where these decisions are made and bring the tension and the rage and the pain that working class people feel into those rooms, power holders have to respond to it.
I need to turn this nervous energy into hype energy.
Exactly, I think that's exactly what that is. My heart's like this.
Another thing that's happened from the national campaign, and I think this is probably the most powerful thing, is that you've got 50 tenant unions around the country whose bases are now interacting with each other, whose organizers are now interacting with each other. We're using the same methodology, we're using the same language, and we're using the same tactics. And that should scare the hell out of the landlord lobby in this country.
Can't make their business work without our government-backed money. There are $150 billion in loans that go to these landlords every year, no strings attached, and that ain't right.
I'm tired of half my wages being sent to rent. I'm tired of my nameless, faceless landlord avoiding my coffin. But I have hope, because I'm organizing with tenants across this country. We are organizing for rent regulations, and we will win!
When I imagine my life without stressing about rent, I think about watching my grandkids play in the courtyard outside. These aren't radical dreams. They're what I'm owed.
That's right.
And the only thing standing in my way is the greedy landlords and the lobby groups like the ones across the street.
We see you.
It's time for them to face hundreds of angry tenants, cause the rent is too damn high. The rent
good to travel and to meet with other people and to see how it is. Like, this isn't just an urban issue. This isn't just in big cities. It's everywhere.
We all got to stand together. And we might be from different states. We might be different nationalities. But we got to stand together and fight for one another.
It's not just us in the South or us in like Louisville, like people across the country want to do what we're doing.
You know, give me what you did to make things right in your state. We'll give you what we did. And I feel like if we all keep fighting the way that we are fighting, together, we can make it better for everybody.
I absolutely feel hopeful for us as a union and hopeful for the people in Chicago. Through this experience, I've recognized that the courts and laws won't get you where you need to go, but people will.